if you're going to do it, yeah, and the things that you promise you're going to do, you need to do it, because it's critical to the business that once we decide to go down this route, there is a return. You could go back to subcontracting, but you're talking 20, 30 weeks to then find a new supplier.
Would you go back?
No way. No way.
Reacton fire suppression. We are actually going to tell you about the company a little bit later on in this, but Ed, you're quite a character. How do you run your business before we begin? What are your main aims?
I think we come into it without a plan.
Yeah.
As all good businesses have done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as I said earlier, we had a business that we were fitting fire systems to, but we weren't manufacturing them. And then that slowly evolved into maybe we should make them. And we bought Reacton in 2016, and from that point on there's really not been much of a plan, but we know that we want to produce the best products, we want the quality to be absolutely perfect, and we understand what the problems have been with the customers. You know, we understand the pain points because we've been in the customer's shoes. So I think our goal was to produce the best fire protection products that are available globally to a much higher standard than our competitors do. And just drive our own way forward in business.
Okay, let's talk about driving your own way forward then. You wanted to kind of stop subcontracting parts out.
Yeah.
Why?
We had, well, usually the way I work is I'm okay, not okay. So I reached a point where I was not okay because we had a big order going out. I remember it was in April, and the parts came in and they were dirty. They were not to the spec they needed to be. And this wasn't a one-off, this was a continuous process, and actually with multiple suppliers. And I, unprofessional way, spat my dummy out, walked outside the building I was in Warwick, doing some testing, and some fire product testing, came down, rung Star, got Dan's number, and just said, we need to go into machining this ourselves, with absolutely no clue how to do it. But I know when I get a feeling about something, whether something's right for the business or not. And we'd reached a maturity point in the business where if we're so passionate about the company values, we need to be in control of bar in, products out. And I think that for me was like, let's just do it. It's going to enhance the R&D. It's going to be a painful 6 to 9 months getting it through the door and getting the business, getting the business at that level that it could substantiate making its own parts. The biggest advantage for me is that research and development cycle. The ability to take a concept and put it on the machines an hour later and then prove it out and then change it, whereas we would be waiting 6, 8 weeks, obviously with a large build because it's low volume, and I just absolutely not. We've still got a long way to go to really understand what the machine's capabilities are at the kind of nth degree, and especially in the quality in the CMM room, but just, I'm so happy with it. Brilliant.
Well, I think of Ed, he's interesting character. I think unique.
And why is that?
I think it was his whole mindset. He's different to what you're used to experiencing. He has a vision. How he's going to get there at the time, he doesn't know, but he finds a way and he gets there. He makes it work. First conversation was Ed ranting down the phone to me for an hour or so. Once he'd settled down a minute, then got a bit of an understanding about what he wanted, where he wanted to go, and how can we, Star as a company, help him achieve that goal.
So we had a conversation on the phone. Dan came down, I think, about a week later. Kind of said, get some bits in the warehouse sort of sorted, boxed up so I can take it away and let's have a chat. So Dan came down, took the parts away, needed to understand what the complexities of the parts were. It started off as, I think, 2 parts. And then at the end of the conversation it was like 30 parts, and then I didn't actually know how many machine parts we actually had as a company.
Really?
No, that I do now because I asked the question. But I think it was 67 or 65 parts back then. But the reality is, what we knew was a significant proportion of those parts was okay, but there's some very complex parts as you've seen today. So yeah, kind of came down, and then whenever Dan would start talking technical, I was like, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, good. But my important point was a commitment from Star to say, look, we will handhold you throughout the process. Dan said at the time as well, who's going to run the facility, and at that point I was like, well, no one, because we don't have anyone. And it was quite priceless watching the facial expressions. Where are you going to put it? Well, there was a load of racking here and some workbenches. There was absolutely nothing.
You've started from scratch?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, not a clue. Not one of us in the building has ever had experience with programming them, running a metrology lab, nothing.
The biggest thing for me was it was completely alien. You know, there's some technical guys here, but on the CNC machining side, it was brand new. They understood the concepts, what probably could be done, but they didn't know how, what machine, what direction it's going in, but they knew it could be working. So it was the whole really starting from the bottom, and it was working. We've got building foundations right from the bottom and work up to where it needed to be. We determined the SX38 was the best machine suited to his requirements, really for 3 reasons. 1, the size of the part. 2, the versatility of the machine, and 3, the power. There's a lot of metal removal in the part, lots of complex features. So the SX38 with the platen turret arrangement, the fully programmable B-axis really gave Ed that capability to achieve what he set out to do. Enjoyed this experience. 2 reasons. 1, working with Ed. He's been been a pleasure to work with, and secondly, working with the company, because they have come from that zero experience installing in machines. It's that educating process, educating them why we're going down the route we're going down, why we've gone with certain machines, why we've gone with certain accessories to ultimately hit that point for them to thrive as a business. Reacton are where they are today because of Star, and with us being part of that journey with them. We've held their hand, we've educated them along the way, so they're understanding why we've gone down the route we have. It is the key to unlocking that growth to where they're going to be in years to come. They're going to fly, they're growing exponentially, and it's just a pleasure and to be part of that journey with Ed and the team at Reacton.
This was going to have to come in and work and deliver literally the day the 38 got running, the parts were being washed, assembled upstairs and sent out the door. So there was no, we'll go over 3 months. This was an immediate transition, so it had to work.
Where are you now?
So we bought the first machine, the 38. We quickly become apparent, not through my technical knowledge, through the guys' technical knowledge, that it was going to be very difficult to run all the parts on one machine. Then obviously had the 32 ordered, and we've been up and running with both machines for probably 7 weeks, I'd say, something like 7 weeks today. Already produced thousands of parts on the 32. We've run huge quantities off the 32 already. The 38 ticks away very nicely on the very sensitive components like valves that can kind of control the fire system for us. But they're just brilliant machines. They're quiet, they work. Big thing for us at the moment, energy costs. All of these things matter, but what matters most is the support from the OEM. And there is an amazing amount of trust for a company that rung Star on a Tuesday afternoon to having a £600,000-700,000 investment behind us. The trust at all levels, myself and Dan, the team, the application engineers, Phil, Ben, the installation engineers, Danny. I tell you what, an amazing company to work with.